All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash, my honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth, and a sincere peace, blessings, and salutations to you, Akim, across the four corners of the earth, pushing his knowledge and truth and his sincerity. It's the brother bros off from the GMS Arizona Camp, Lord Will, with another quick lesson to edify. All right. For the last couple of days, after a conversation, I basically had with my son, kind of led me, to start doing a little research, looking up videos on the Amazon rainforest, through the spirit. And so, I've been on YouTube, on Google, looking up information, looking up videos and what have you. And I, watched a few videos that came up. For instance, this one here from Paul Rosalie, talking about ancient Amazons, uncontacted tribes, which is very interesting when you hear the stories about these tribes that live deep in the rainforest, that really have very little to no human interaction. And if, people try to approach anywhere close to where they dwell, they kill them harshly. All right. And good stories there. Joe Rogan always had people on his podcast that go, and it's always these, what perceived to be Edomites, so-called white man is out there because he got the money, the time, the resources to do it. The scriptures talk about how Esau was a man of the field. Okay. And so, they go out on these, adventures going into the rainforest, but some of the information, that they shared is interesting, man. When you really think about what's out there, when you think about the vastness of the Lord's creation, as the scriptures say, the more thou search, the more thou marvel. Okay, because what I didn't realize, I really don't look into this stuff, that often, but what I didn't realize was the vastness of the Amazon rainforest. A lot of people think it just spans across the landmass of like Brazil, but it actually spans across the entire northern part of South America. All right. And you got a lot of tribes there. You got a lot of the tribes, a lot of the Northern Kingdom tribes, that dwell in that land. So anyway, I'm researching that. I'm hearing the stories, the testimonies, and what it all comes down to is anywhere the so-called white man goes, death follows. People mourn. Nature, things that are pertaining to life, things fall out of the natural course. Because as the scriptures say in John chapter 10, verse 10, this devil comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. And this is why those tribes that are living, out there, that understand and are more connected with nature than we, living in these cities could ever be, and have technology and understanding on things that we've lost, but once knew as Israelites. Whenever they get up in there, this is why they deal so harshly with people that try to approach them, because they've already witnessed the way that this so-called white man deals, and they know better than to trust him. And they for him to even have an opportunity to open his mouth and speak his lies, they'd rather just put an arrow through his head. And that's what they do. They straight up porcupine people with 6, 7 inch arrows for even approaching their dwellings. So this is John chapter 10, verse 10. It says, the thief cometh not. Who is the thief? The so-called white man, Esau, Edom. It says, the thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. That's exactly what this so-called white man does. One of the interesting stories is that rubber, that's where they get rubber from. And that's what really attracted a lot of these Edomites down to that land. Of course, they want to extract that land for its resources. But the rubber is what really brought them down here, because it was in high demand. And that's where they knew they could get it. The rubber comes from the Amazon rainforest. And so, they went down there, and, killed off the locals, mass genocide, torture, slavery, and, knocking down the trees, disrupting the whole ecosystem, just so they can exploit the land. This devil come not but for to steal, kill, and destroy. That's what he does. That's his MO. All right. It says, I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. So you got to steer clear of this devil. And that's why those tribes that are out there would rather put him to death before they even have an opportunity to come and destroy them. This is Colossians 1:16. It says, for by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are on earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. Okay, all things were created by who? Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh created Yahweh Shai, who was the first spirit, the firstborn of every creature. And Yahweh Shai created the Elohim, okay, the gods, okay, the 144,000, okay, which were the spirits that helped him to create everything, that he put to work to bring Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Salakia's blueprint, Yahweh's blueprint together to bring it to life. Okay, this is how all things that we see, all things that are in the earth, all things that are in heaven, visible and invisible, were created, okay, by those first spirits, starting with Yahweh and then his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai. And what did he do? Yahweh created a paradise. All right. He created a paradise. Let me see. I'm going to start at verse 4. It says, these are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord power made the earth and the heavens. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord Yahweh power had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. And the Lord power formed man from, of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. All right. That understanding, that breath of life, gave him the spirit. All right. And it says, verse 8, and the Lord Yahweh power planted a garden eastward in Eden. All right. The Holy Land. Okay. The land of Israel. All right. He planted a garden. It says eastward in Eden. All right. And there he put the man whom he had formed. Verse 9, it says, and out of the ground made the Lord power to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which is the ways of these other nations. Adam wasn't the only one in the garden. It wasn't just Adam and Eve, and it was, the Adamites. There were more people, at that time, but the Lord had only put the Spirit on Adam. You see, the Adamites, they were that chosen line. All right, the Lord he always deals with a chosen. But let's jump back up to verse 8 and let's get that word for Eden, because the Lord planted a garden eastward in Eden, and he created a paradise, basically. All right. It says Eden equals pleasure. All right. So it was a beautiful, pleasurable place to be, full of, animals, full of beautiful plants and trees. You had, it just was beautiful. It was beautiful there, man. And this is the way that the Yahweh Shemi Shai created this planet Earth to be. He created to be a pleasure. He created it to be a paradise. And then now, under the mismanagement of the so-called white man who is currently in control of the earth, it's been absolutely destroyed. So when you watch the videos, this man has been living out there in the rainforest for, 15 to 20 years. And is just talking about how he keeps trying to keep the white man out of there to protect it. Because he comes in there and what he's doing is cutting down trees that say 100 or 200 plus years old, hundreds of years old, that have, trunks the size of a house that rise up hundreds of feet. And when you think about it, that tree alone is an ecosystem in itself. It has all kinds of fungus and, that grows on it that, different insects and animals can feed from, that different bugs, when those trees have that much time to grow and let's say branches fall off, then you have, holes in the tree where, animals can go in and they can live, inside the tree, and it becomes its own ecosystem in and of itself. But that takes hundreds of years for that to develop. Then you had a so-called white man, okay, for gain, for profit, because he's greedy and can never be satisfied. He'll go in and knock these trees down. And even if you planted another one, it was still your kids, all right, your great grandkids probably won't see that tree manifest to the point where it was, where the original tree was that was knocked down just so this devil can make some paper and some tables. You see, there's so many animals that are going extinct because of the damage that they're causing to this rainforest, tearing it down, disrupting their ecosystem. One of the animals that they talked about was the tigers, and how they're scarce, and the only reason is because these devils is going and they're killing off its food. Because it's, if they would have left the deer alone, or other animals like such, then they will have a food source. But they're killing off the food source, and like I said, this devil is completely destroying the earth. He's destroying the paradise that the Lord had created, and that's why the Lord is going to destroy him. Let's get that. Let's see. Let's see, Slovakia. This is Revelations 11. This is Revelation 11 and 18. It says, "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great." And here's the point. "And shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth." All right. Who is doing that? Who's destroying the earth? It's none other than the so-called white man. Who's going out into these vast ecosystem? That's the most diverse ecosystem in the world, the Amazon rainforest. And who's going out there to destroy it? All right. It's Esau Edom, the so-called white man, point blank, period. All right. And he gonna have to pay for that. Okay. Now this is a movie. Okay. Just watching the videos on the Amazon rainforest, man, just learning about the vast ecosystem there, the different type of animals. Man, the Lord's creation is just, man, it's going to be a beautiful thing when we get in the kingdom, and we're going to be able to fully experience what the Lord had created, in its fullness, because there's parts of the earth that we just wouldn't be able to, we just wouldn't believe, how beautiful it is, and what's going on there, because we just been stuck in these fucking cities, man. All we know is streets and buildings and street lights and bills. But it's people out there that's not living with none of that. They're living amongst the wilderness. They're living amongst nature. All right. They're using the Lord's creation. They're living in a place where they can look out into the sky and they see stars. They see stars like the sand of the sea. Various colors in the sky when they look up, because they don't have the light pollution and all the pollutions that we have to deal with, to where we look up in the sky and you might see a star or two sprinkle here and there, but there's certain parts of the earth you can go to where it looks like the stars is lighting up the whole sky. Like images that when we take in would be absolutely breathtaking. And we don't get to enjoy none of the earth. Why? Because it's under wicked rulership. All right. And the Lord is going to destroy him that destroyed the earth, which is the so-called white man. He's going to be taken down. Okay. This is why this earth needs to be refreshed. Get back to that state of Eden, where it's a pleasure once again. Okay. Because the matter of fact, Romans 8 and 22, it says, "For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now." See, the whole creation is groaning. All right. Why? Because it's under a wicked, oppressive ruler that has no care for the nature, has no care just operates with reckless abandon. Doesn't consider, anything or anyone other than, the lust of their own minds. Even if they destroy themselves, they will continue to do wickedly, man. All right. So Romans 8 and 22 says, "For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travail in pain together unto now." That's the animals. That's the plant life. That's the Israelites. That's everybody that's under this wicked man's rulership. Just like Proverbs 29 and 2 says that when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. The people are mourning. Nature is mourning. And we all hasten to be freed. All right. But anyway, that's pretty much it for the video. But like I was saying, I pulled this up because watching those interviews led me to this movie, The Lost City of Z. Okay, which I'm going to read the little excerpt here. It says, "At the dawn of the 20th century, British explorer Percy Fawcett journeys into the Amazon, where he discovers evidence of a previously unknown advanced civilization that may have once inhabited the region." Those are the Israelites, man. Those are the tribes. The tribes were already here in the Americas dwelling. Then this devil And in their pride, they come over here and do what? They destroy everything. They kill everybody. Then they take ownership of it themselves as if they discovered something. Okay? No, but there were civilizations already dwelling here, prospering. Okay? Until you came over here and brought over your diseases, smiled and act like you were coming, for diplomacy and to make various trade deals or what have you. And ultimately, what you did was you had that knife hiding behind your back, and you slew the man as soon as you shook their hand. That's ultimately what you did, and you're never gonna admit to it. And you're just gonna be running around in the earth prideful, acting like you discovered this, you discovered that, how everybody else in the world and the earth was savages until you fucking came through and civilized the people in the earth, and like you created any. You didn't create shit. No, all you did was stole everything. All right. And because of your unrighteous dealings, the kingdom is going to be translated from you into the hands of the Israelites, okay, through our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Now, this guy goes to the Amazon and he discovers that it was other people already living there. And, I'm about halfway through the movie. It's pretty good, but it goes into that history. This dude goes on his voyage to try to discover something, and what did he need in order to know how to navigate the Amazon, in order to know how to communicate with tribes that he may encounter? He had a so-called Indian with him. Just like them Spaniards that came over here to the Americas, they had a Hebrew interpreter with them, right? No different for this guy. Esau puts the truth in the movies. That's how we know we're the Israelites. All right. And he had a so-called Indian with him. And otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to find his way. So these devils ain't all cracked up to be who they think they are, man. And what they're doing is they're pillaging, raping, robbing, and destroying the whole earth. They completely destroyed the paradise that Yahweh Shem Yahushai has created. And because of that, then they're going to be destroyed, man. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I'm going to say shalom.